Hey, let me remind you about what happened last time on the Incorrigible party.
Opting to forge ahead on their own and not wait for any help from Geneva, the party traverses the precarious precipice that is the western path around the city. Besting a crumbled section of path and safely making it to the other side, they continue to the northernmost point of the island to find a large stone clearing bordering the cliff's edge. In the center, a large stone altar flanked by 2 shield guardians. Responding to the party's attempts to push the guardians into the sea hundreds of feet below, the magical constructs react and fight back.
And now, let's see what mischief our adventurers get into next.
That one will lash out at Shakara with 2 pummels of a fist. A 17, which is a miss, and a 26.
26 hits.
It'll be 11 bludgeoning.
Bludgeoning, so that's reduced by 3, so it's only 8.
Second one will smash into Mia. The first fist will miss. Goes for the second fist. And will also miss. Wow.
Sweet.
And Shakara, you're up.
Okay, I'm going to bring my longsword around again. That's 20 to hit.
That is a hit.
And I will smite it again. That's better. 21 points of damage. And I'll attack it again. That's a 24 to hit. That's 6 points of damage. Just a regular hit, no smite.
Balzer.
So these amulets, I'm pretty confident were not magic. Not magical at all. I think I will use Eldritch Blast on the one that looks the most beat up. So that's first ray is 18 to hit.
That is a hit.
12 to hit.
12 is a miss.
6 points of force damage.
Now just pieces of this shield guardian are clattering to the stone floor. Mia, back to the top.
Alright, I'm smacking it with my hammer. 24 to hit.
Yes, you did.
9.
And you see it shaking on its armored boots. Still standing.
Has anyone hit that other one?
Not yet, no.
Okay, so I'll cast Spiritual Weapon and put him up on the other guy.
And it gets an attack as part of casting it.
23 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
So, that's an 8 plus 4, 12 damage.
Shaft.
Okay, this guy's armor seems to be popping off of him, so I'm going to help him out and take my rapier and try to jab it in and pry off some of that armor. But that one's not going to hit. That one's going to be a 9 to hit.
No, I'm afraid not.
All right, and I will swing around and try to jab it into his leg. Okay, that's a 18 to hit.
Yeah.
18 points of damage.
You jab it into the knee, where the joint is, and pop it off and wrench off his boot, completely tearing off the bottom half of his leg, and the entire shield guardian crumbles to the ground and just breaks into pieces as it hits.
Good job, Shaft.
And then as my bonus action, I'm going to move Hunter's Mark over to the other one.
Okay, great. And the second one, the last remaining one, again, the nicks and scrapes that your spiritual weapon dealt to it seem to start to close and almost like it's healing. And it's going to reach out to Mia and place a hand on it.
It's going to try.
It's going to try. For a 22.
Ooh, that hits. I'll use my Wrath of the Storm.
17 necrotic damage as it lays an armored hand on you and draws some of your life force like it's sucking it out of your body.
Ooh.
So half of 17 though, so that's 8. When he hits me, he's got to do a DC 15, or else he takes 2d8.
Ooh, that's a fail.
So I push him 10 feet away from me, and he takes 14 damage.
Shakara, you're up.
While I'm running to him, taking steps to him, I'm going to cast Searing Smite, which is a bonus action. Next time I hit the creature with a melee weapon attack, for the next minute, my weapon flares with a white-hot intensity, and the attack deals an extra 1d6 fire damage to the target and causes the target to ignite in flames. At the start of each of its turns, the target must make a con save. On a failed save, it takes an additional 1d6 fire damage. So I will try and attack it with my sword, and I rolled a natural 20.
Yeah, there we go. Some good rolls tonight.
24 points of damage.
Good hit. So that was on your first swing, though, right?
Oh, that was, yes. Oh, and that one is a 15 to hit.
That is a miss. Baldrin.
How's this guy looking?
Pretty good.
He's looking not too bad, eh?
He's cutie.
And he said he's knitting himself back together a little bit.
It does look like that, yeah.
Yeah, they're tanks, man.
Okay.
Yeah, I wish we had that amulet to activate it. Turn it to our side.
It certainly seems coincidental that we have 2 amulets and there are 2 shield guardians. I think I'm going to use Eldritch Blast again. So that one's a hit. It's a 24. 4 points of force damage. That's a 12.
That is a miss. Mia.
The guy is still right up on me, right?
It's 10 feet from you. Remember, you push it back with your reaction.
Ooh, he's 10 feet from me now. That's good. Okay, so I can throw my hammer. Elena, that's a 10, so that doesn't hit. And then my bonus action, I'll use my spiritual weapon. That's a 22, so that'll hit. Yes, D8. I rolled an 8, so that's 12.
Good where you are.
Yeah, I'm good where I'm.
Shaft.
How far away is he from me?
About 10 feet.
Ah, okay. Then I'm going to... he's a pretty tall guy, right?
Yeah, he's standing at least 6 feet tall.
All right. I'm going to run over, sort of slide in the mud, and try to ram my rapier up in through his armor, through sort of where the thigh is, and just sort of jab into him.
Shaft fight's dirty.
That'd be
Yeah, he does.
21 to hit.
Yep.
18 points of damage. Then I'm going to yank that out, sort of spin around, and try to get it into the other leg. That's not quite as good. That's going to be a 17 to hit.
That just hits.
Oh, awesome. 13 points of damage.
And again, those leg and thigh piercings you land into it, they seem to start to slowly close as it rounds on you and attempts to swing both of its fists at you.
Is Shaft next to me?
Yes, yeah, you are next.
I will impose disadvantage on one of the attacks.
First one, good thing, because he did roll a critical. So the first one misses, though, because of your disadvantage. Second swing comes in with a 26
That hits.
and smashes you for 13 bludgeoning.
Ooh. Ouch.
And Shakara, you're up.
Okay. Oh, and on his turn, it was supposed to do a con save.
Oh, that's right. He does the con save. You got a 19.
Yeah, he beat it, so the fire goes out.
It's really rainy.
Yeah. It's hard to be a flamethrower in the rain. So I'll take my sword and I'll bring it around and I will hit it for 23. And I will smite it. 21 points of damage.
Yeah.
Is it still standing?
You smash one of its shoulder plates clean off its body, but it is still up.
Okay, and I'll bring my sword around again, and that is a 17 to hit.
That hits.
I'm done playing with this thing. I'm going to smite it again.
Do it.
19 points of damage.
You smash into its other shoulder and knock its piece of armor off, but it's still on its feet. Baldrin.
How beat up does this guy look? Like, I saw the other guy go down. I saw
Shakara has cleaved many pieces clean off of it. It's looking pretty bad.
It's looking bad. Okay. I think I'm going to try a little magic missile, see if I can finish him off. Pepper him with some little darts. So 3, and 5.
Your tiny darts, seems to be Faldrin's middle name, again peppering it and piercing its armored chest. Still on its feet. Mia.
Chuck my hammer. Just gonna be like, wah! That is 21 to hit. So that hits. So 9 damage, and then my spiritual weapon, which is 23, and another 5.
And your spiritual weapon does the exact amount left needed to smash it again into pieces of what's remaining of its armored
Oh,
body.
yeah.
All right.
I forgot to add to my 5 a +4, but anyway.
Well, now it's less theatric, so thank you for that. And we can drop out of initiative.
All right.
Oh, I'm sorry, Shaft. I didn't know that was what was going to happen.
Well, I did.
I don't care. Kill it.
Oh, that was scary, you guys. You okay?
Yeah, I think you're probably right. These likely belong to Alamar, and it's either fight them now or fight them once Alamar gets here if he turns on us and turns into a battle. So I look around and see if there's a bit of a place out of the way that I could set up a small area for me to cast my Lehman's tiny hut. Is there a location a bit away from this altar? Maybe up against some stone or like a hill or something where it can blend in a little bit.
Can I chuck armor pieces like into the trees or away from sight? Kind of hide them a little bit.
I mean, you can drag them to the edge and throw them off the cliff if you want.
Yes, let's do that in case he tries to reanimate them or something.
Exactly.
Okay, so you clean up this clearing a little bit.
Yeah.
While Falzarin makes the hut, Falzarin, you make the hut. We can handle the heavy lifting.
Okay.
Don't hurt your back.
I mean, I have a mage hand that could help you guys out. Can carry 30 pounds.
I sincerely doubt that.
All right. So I'm going to start ritual casting Lehman's tiny hut.
Shakara and Mia take out the trash.
And you successfully clear the trash from this clearing.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Clear the clearing, yes. Bada bing, bada boom. And Falzarin, you're able to ritual cast and put up Lehman's tiny hut to match your tiny darts.
It's not the size of the hut.
But it's how many people you can fit in it.
Exactly.
Okay. I don't know about you guys, but I definitely could use a short rest.
Yes, as could I.
And you are able to finish cleaning up before Falzarin does finish casting, because you do all need to be in it as it is being cast to be able to enter it. So
Right before he finished casting and we go in and all that, I want to do my divine sense and see if I can sense any celestial fiends or undead within 60 feet.
Other than Mia?
okay, so you pick up Celestial, of course, in Mia, but you do not detect any Fey or undead.
Okay.
So what is the plan in this hut?
Get out of the rain. Take a short rest.
I'm going to attempt a short rest, yes.
And I'm hoping that there's going to be at least one, well, maybe just one person shows up to the scene of the crime here, and then we see what's going to happen.
So, Falzarin, I don't know a lot about magic, but I do know a lot of spells do take someone to say something. Is there anything you can do to silence him in case he tries to attack us with some kind of spell?
Yeah, that would be fantastic if I could, but I don't have access to that sort of magic. But it would be very powerful against a magic user if you're able to do that. Hopefully, he does not have that ability. Be able to cast it on me.
I have no doubt that someone of his skills probably has that ability. Do you have any way to remove that without, if he does cast it on you?
No, I don't. We'll see. It all depends on what he's spent his time studying and learning. We may not need to worry about it.
Yeah, we'll have to be, if we have to take him out, it'll have to be quick, and we'll have to do it with everything we have.
Yes.
I know the experience I've had with magic users are, if you give them the opportunity, they can be very powerful.
Yeah.
We can't give them the opportunity.
Yeah, I agree. I hope it doesn't come to that.
And after an hour of your short rest passes in this hut, the storm does not seem to be letting up, and what limited sunlight or daylight that there was is now gone, as it is nightfall. So is the plan just sitting here to wait for something to happen? Is that what's going on? I mean, you got 7 more hours in this little hut, so.
Yeah, I think we believe that he is coming up here to cast this ritual on this night based on the knowledge that we have.
Yeah.
So I don't think we would, after all it took to get here, I think we would probably stay and to see if something happens.
Another hour passes, this storm raging, the wind starting to howl outside of this hut, and no sign of Alamar or any figure yet. Maybe another 20, 30 minutes pass, approaching a third hour in this hut, and still no sign of Alamar. But you do hear even above the sounds and cracks of thunder in this storm, you hear what sounds like some type of siren blaring, and it cuts through this storm's night.
The siren, is it something that Falzarin may have... Have you ever heard this before? This noise? Is it something that happens here in Heracleon?
Falzarin, you've never heard this siren blare, but you do know that there is some type of warning signal that can be activated in the city. There's never been any need to do so since you've lived here. And it does sound as if it is coming from the city.
Shaft, this is definitely this is an alarm bell of some sort. It's never needed to be used, but we do have a warning system should some emergency happen in Heracleon, and I believe this is it. Something's going on.
We should go back.
Do you think we came all up here for nothing?
It would certainly be inconvenient if we did.
Oh, Geneva.
Maybe she sent us up here to...
Get us out of the way.
What are the odds that there's this altar up here that's got these 2 guardians by it? And it fits too well, but...
And we were meant to meet Geneva at the gate, not travel on our own.
Yes, that's true. I don't know if there's any sense in waiting here any longer with this alarm going off.
We're gonna go down and hop over the wall then?
I guess. I don't know any other way to... Why don't we just hop the wall right here and go down the other side?
Right, that's what I'm saying. We just go down to the wall and jumpy over it and head back, well, I don't know. I guess see why the alarm's going off.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, and as Falzarin steps out of this hut, it does disappear, and you make your way back towards the wall, down to the city, moving south down this trail again. And again, it kind of winds a little bit through this elevated terrain. And as you're approaching it, you see 2 great beams of like white, bright light shooting in and up into the air. One looks like it's coming from the northwestern side of the city, and the other seems like it's originating from further in to the city as they lance up through the darkness and into like these dark clouds that are hanging low, and this white shimmering dome starts to form around the city. And as you're getting up to the walls, you see that the dome, that's basically where it comes down, and it covers the entirety of the city. And as it forms and finally hits the ground, the shimmer and the glow, it kind of fades again into more of this translucent, kind of almost like the outside of a bubble.
Are we
inside
inside the
of that?
bubble?
You are not. You are outside of this wall.
Ah! Geneva!
I'm sure we can walk right through it.
Are we locked out of the city?
This doesn't look good, but there's only one way to find out.
Alright, Shaft, stick your hand in there.
I'll poke it with my rapier. Does it go through?
It does not. So you touch it with the weapon. You see where the wall is. It's like very, almost the edge of this kind of bubble looks like it's like just along the outside of this wall, and it goes into and meets the ground. And as your weapon, you poke it, it sparks back and like throws your arm back, as if it's like rebounding against any pressure you put on it.
Well, crap.
Is there any chance that they made up a fake alarm to trigger the dome so no one could come out here to stop them? You know what I mean? And we're already out here, so that's good.
It's possible. It's a good thought.
I don't know. This sucks.
That would be great if that were the case.
So it goes over the wall, like we can't even get on the wall to jump the gap anymore.
No, you can see that to the top of it is contained within this bubble.
Yeah, so we can't do what we did before, and basically Shakara is the only one that could jump across, so...
Yeah, then we're stuck here, really.
We're stuck.
What about the other side of the city? We can still walk that way, right?
Yeah, if we were to continue east along the north side of the city, along this wall, where does that lead? Is there land that we could walk around there?
You want to go take a look?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Traveling east, you follow the north wall of this city outside of this dome, which it does persist as you were traveling. It's completely transparent at first, but it seems to be slowly becoming like more and more translucent, as if you're kind of looking through like a really thick piece of glass. You know, it's the images on the other side of it are kind of distorted. I mean, you really only see the city's walls, right? Because you can't see into the city itself. But it does seem like it's getting thicker and maybe like solidifying more. Rivulets of water are just kind of pouring off of it. Like your weapon shaft, the storm's rainfall does not penetrate the dome. But as you hit the northeasternmost edge of Heracleon's perimeter, the siren from the city finally goes quiet. You find that the eastern path around the city, it's quite expansive compared to the west side, where it was drastically narrowed over there to no more than 5 feet. There's ample room to traverse the rocky terrain on this side of the city, widening in some sections to nearly 60 feet. There's kind of many large boulders that line the edge of this pathway, overlooking the drop to the ocean from the cliff's edge below, as you are still at this high elevation, right? And basically, like the west side, there's the city, some land, then cliff edge. It's same with over here.
So as we're going down in this path, essentially, between the wall and the cliff, we see that the dome is, like you said, it's getting thicker the farther we go, or does it seem to be getting thicker more just because time's passing and the dome seems to be thickening?
That's, the latter. That's right.
Okay. Hey, this thing seems to be getting thicker. I don't know if it looks like it's all around the city. Maybe we should, I don't know. We're not going to be able to get into it, apparently. I take my rapier and hit it again.
This time, instead of kind of the sparks, it seems to like ripple out from your strike before then like becoming completely solid again.
What about my hammer? Should I hit it with my hammer?
I mean, it doesn't look like it's something you can break. But you can try it. Here, let me go up here a little ways.
Might as well
do.
give it a try, Mia.
Okay.
I'm gonna back away from it too.
Yeah, I will as well.
Back up for safety, guys. And I chuck my hammer at it. That's all I got.
Absolutely. And you easily, obviously you hit it, right?
Yeah.
You just kind of whoof, and it hits it again, kind of this larger ripple from this heavier impact. And your hammer just flies off of it, like rebounds off of it.
Okay.
Basically.
Damn.
And I assume you see it rebound, and I assume you just pull it right back to your hand.
Oh yeah, I
kind of
just
thing.
grab it right back to my hand, and I'm like, well, it was worth a try.
I'm gonna look around at how much land is on this side of the city. I wonder why Geneva sent us to the west side, when it would have been so much easier to come this way.
I have no idea. I don't trust any of them.
Falzarin, you know this city better. Why would she tell us to take the west side?
I don't know. To be honest, I've never explored up this side of the wall. So, your guess is as good as mine.
Have you ever heard of any other way into the city, like through a cave system or some other way that's not through the main gate?
Have you ever seen this shield before?
No, none of this is familiar to me. I'd heard that we have some sort of alarm in Heracleon in case of an emergency or some sort of catastrophe, but I've never seen it go off, and I don't know much about this shield.
Well, we can't get in the city. Why don't we go visit Tenchi? I mean, he seems to be a guy that's in the know. Maybe he knows a way in.
I just say we keep walking.
Oh, yeah, we gotta keep walking, but if we can't get in the city, we got the port, and we can go down and visit Tenchi if we can't get in. Let's keep walking around.
Yes, let's go.
As you progress south, you getting closer and closer to the city's main gate, and on your way to the port, you can hear the distinct boom of cannon fire over the periodic crack of thunder, and this kind of soft plinking sound that the rain makes as it hits this protective dome. And you can now clearly see a constant slew of red flashes that are kind of briefly lighting up the sky as you come around the southeastern corner of the city. Flashes become brighter and more constant. The boom, boom, boom growing louder and louder.
What is that? Is that from the boat?
Sounds like the city's under attack, and that's some kind of protection.
It seems the same as from the ship,
We did see it earlier.
like the Rising Three.
Yeah. And we know that there's at least one other of those boats out in the sea.
Yeah, this dome's like a massive tiny hut.
That's true.
Huh.
We should keep going and try and get a closer look, see where this is coming from.
Yes, I agree.
Let's go. Just keep on walking around the wall.
And continuing to make your progress, the city of Heracleon is not like a perfect square or rectangle, right? There's kind of this curvature to the wall, and as you kind of come around what would be this lower southeastern corner, right? What comes into view is you clearly see the source of these shots, and as you surmised, there are nearly 36 glowing red cannons that are loosely lined up several hundred feet from Heracleon's main gate. They blast balls of fire that slam into this dome that covers the city, sending those now familiar to you ripples across its surface, across this crystalline surface. Manning these cannons are clusters of dark-robed cultists. Behind them stand nearly 300 figures clustered in haphazard formations. The majority of them are cultists, but the odd dark bluish purple skin and writhing tentacle hair of deep scions can be seen spattered amongst the groups, along with a large number of resurrected drowned, their exposed skin covered in that bone-white growth of coral. But 3 people in particular stand out to some of you, at least. A tall human with shoulder-length blonde hair, matted to his head from the drenching rain, appears to be directing some of these cultists that are rolling large barrels up to the what they've kind of formed this front line. Shaft and Falzarin, although none of you have ever seen this man before, the 2 of you specifically get a strange sense of familiarity from him, and his visage, it seems to like flicker, only for you two, as if like if something's being superimposed or transposed, an image is being transposed over something, over this man's features, until suddenly the flickering stops and all you see is Sardo the Revenant.
Great.
What?
A second man stands closer to the cannons, seemingly directing their fire and orchestrating their alternating volleys. He's nearly doubled over, afflicted with a severe hunchback, as Chucky the bar boy brandishes towards the bombarded dome with a long black whip in each hand. He looks to be clad in some sort of coral duplicate of the Arcanist armor that he was once stripped of by some of you so long ago. But overseeing all of this from the crest of one of these sizable rock formations that they surround this road to the city, right, as between the port and the city, creating this channel kind of walkway, right, as you would get off a boat and move into the city. But you see the pale blue-skinned, one-armed figure of Erica. Her silhouette is illuminated in the red of the fire from the cannon shots, revealing what looks like some type of harness across her chest, looped over the shoulder of her one remaining arm.
Gosh, Falzren, these things just don't die. Didn't we even burn Sardo?
Yeah, this doesn't make sense. And what are we gonna do?
Who's Sardo?
I want to try and protect Heracleon, but look at how many of them there are.
Sardo's this...
You guys know these people?
Well, yeah, you see the humpback guy there?
Yeah.
I don't want to talk to him.
Okay.
His name's
I don't want to
Chucky.
talk to any of them. They look freaking scary.
And then that other one there, the one with the one arm. You can guess who that is.
That must be Erica.
Yeah, these people just don't die.
Wow.
Falzren, what kind of magic is this? I mean,
I hope the Tritons come and save us.
I have no idea what's going on here, but we don't stand a chance against that many. What can we do?
Is there a way to get past them to the port, or is it completely blocked off?
So from this, as you look down, you actually, Shakara, you spot a group of 3 people. They seem to be kind of slinking along the edge of the island of Heracleon. And there is a bit of a passageway, as it seems like this attacking force is clustered on the main road that connects the ports to the city. But it does look like there might be some shelter that you could possibly move along, kind of running parallel to them, almost kind of circumnavigating this cluster of people. But you do see 3 figures. They seem to be coming limping and moving very slowly and carefully. But it draws your gaze further down to the port, and you just see the destroyed buildings of it and the fire that kind of glistens off of the ocean of wrecked ships and piers that is just set ablaze.
Do we see the Rising 3?
You do not.
oh man, I hope Grimby got out of there.
Me too, I don't see the boat.
Look over there. There are people off to the side.
Yeah.
Just sort of try to take a real hard look. Do we recognize who those might be?
No, none of you have ever seen them before. You see 2 men and a silver dragonborn. One man seems to be dressed in similar kind of garb that many of the dock workers that you've passed and maybe even spoken to in your time here is wearing. The dragonborn is clad in robes. She does seem to be similarly garbed to other inhabitants of Heracleon.
So we can surmise that they were down at the port. Everything went to hell, and they're trying to sneak their way out of there. You
could put that together. They are certainly moving very slowly. The one human that he's also dressed in kind of the dark green robe, which almost looks as black as some of these cultists as it's drenched in this downpour of the storm. He has kind of an arm slung around the Dragonborn and is clearly being supported as they're kind of slowly limping, trying to get away from whatever may be chasing them or whatever's happened down at the port.
Can I get up to them? Not run at them, but kind of hunch over and make my way towards them?
You can attempt to.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to try to.
I'll follow.
Do I think that I could get up to them without being seen by any of these other...
How far away would we be from this crowd of people, basically?
So from the collective force, you are probably upwards of maybe 300 to 400 feet. You're kind of at the edge of, right, and the gate being in the middle of this long southern wall of the city itself, right? From the people themselves, it seems they've maybe gotten about half that distance from you. As the elevation of the island itself rises, right, forming that cliff edge that you have just spent so much time walking along, that's kind of what they're sticking to, keeping as much distance as possible between them and the actual main road leading to the city.
Right.
Is there some cover that we think we might be shielded by if we were to kind of sneak along to try and meet them?
The only cover is immediately adjacent to the road itself.
Okay.
Otherwise, these people themselves seem to be in the open, but they have no other choice.
And nobody's pursuing them?
Doesn't seem that way, no.
I'm going to go as close to the edge as I can and work my way to them.
Yeah, I'll say to Falzren real quick. Yeah, let's find out if they can fill us in on what's going on. And then maybe make our way down. Maybe we can send a message to Grimby and see if he can come pick us up.
Yeah, we can't just leave these poor people here. We have to try and help them.
Oh, that's not what I was getting at, but sure.
All right, so I will follow Shakara.
Okay, anybody that would like to try to meet this group of people can make stealth checks.
Oh dear. Might as well.
14 for Shakara.
3.
11 for Falzern.
19.
Okay, so we'll kind of do that group stealth thing that we've done in the past. And you do make it up to this 3. And the silver dragonborn, of course, immediately addresses Shakara. Please, do you come from... Are you... Stay back. She seems to be very cautious. Obviously, from the ordeal that she's gone through. She kind of looks you over.
We have been in the city, but were caught outside when the dome came down.
Then we shouldn't stay in the open here. Is there somewhere safe? And she kind of motions to the human that she's propping up. His head is kind of bobbing. He's very clearly, his clothes are stained with blood as he has suffered some wounds.
Please let me help. And I'll go to him and I'll grab up his other arm and lay on hands.
Okay, great. How many are you going to give him?
I'll give him 10.
And this kind of brings him out of what, he's just kind of looked like to be in a bit of a daze. And he's able to kind of stand up on his own with your help. And, his eyes come into focus. Thank you. I can get us back into the city. We just need to get out of it. We need to keep going along the eastern edge.
Quickly now, show us the way.
Oh, that's great. Let's go.
He introduces himself as Dreg Didge. The Dragonborn is named Jacqueline Scaleborn. And the other human, the dock worker, who seems to be very quiet and, again, kind of in this state of shock. He doesn't look injured, though. Jacqueline, introduces him on his behalf as Biff Longmire. Now, let's make one more stealth check, and we'll try to get back to the kind of cover of the wall, the city's walls itself, with these people in tow.
13. I'm moving a little quicker now and kind of pushing them a little bit. Not quite as quiet.
23.
8.
That's a 1 for Falsey.
So Falzern, as Shakara begins to hasten, you lag behind a little bit, and concerned for your safety, you kind of look at the force, and you just see Sardo has stopped what he's been doing, and you see his head just slowly turn directly towards you. His eyes kind of like they have this like preternatural glint to it as he spots you. And you just see kind of this from, fairly far away, but you could clearly see the smile come across his face as he raises one finger to point at you.
All right, I make eye contact with him and quickly turn around and just try and hurry away with the rest of the group.
So what are we doing? Are we trying to run here?
Yeah, Falzern is wanting everyone to try and make haste in a big way.
So we're all really sneaky coming along here, and then we see Falzern run by all of us.
Right?
It's big haste time, guys.
Do you say anything to us as you run up to us?
Guys, one of those people down there who recognizes me, Shaft, it's Sardo. He saw me. We've got to go. This is bad.
Yeah, let's hightail it.
We've got to be quick.
Ugh, no one tells me who this Sardo is, but fine.
He's not a friend.
He is definitely not a friend.
It is not important now. We must move.
I know, okay.
Yes, we continue north, and there's a secret staircase that we can take. I never thought I'd have to use this. And you kind of all make haste, and you get to not very far actually from your position, and looking back behind you, you've yet to see anyone, any pursuers come around the edge of the city, but you see Dreg. He leads you to, again, one of the wider parts of this path, to a spot where there's kind of many of these large rocks at the cliff's edge. He finds a very specific one that's roughly about 3 feet in diameter, the smallest one in this cluster. And you notice, now that you're right up to it, that the rain actually doesn't strike it or bounce off of its surface. the drops appear to pass right through it, and Dreg just puts his hand in and steps into it. He disappears through this illusory rock, and you see his head kind of pop back out, and he ushers you in.
I'll follow.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, I do too. I'll go last. I'll make sure everybody else gets in first, and then I'll go in last.
This is crazy. Let's go.
Falzarin's going to be looking back over his shoulder as he passes through to see if he's in line of sight of Sardo or any of the others.
And as you descend and disappear yourself into this rock, you don't still see any sign of of pursuers. And Shakara, last one in, as you're kind of all crowded. You're now crowding at the head of this descending stone staircase. It's roughly about 20 feet wide. Sections of the stair, they look like perfectly uniform and smooth. And then, like 4 or 5 steps down, there's another cluster of steps that look more like pitted and much less uniform. Some steps randomly lower or higher than the previous ones. And they're slick with the pouring rainwater. It's starting to create these small rivulets that kind of run down the steps with you. Why are you outside of the city? What is going on?
We got stuck outside of the city as this alarm went off.
Will you tell us what has happened? What have you seen?
Well, I arrived just before sunset. I was asked to come, and I don't know. I was very confused, and in fact, I was told the safety shell was already activated. I was expecting to see it upon my arrival, but all of a sudden, these long oval ships they sprouted and they started attacking the port. I didn't know what to do.
You said someone told you to come here, and that this dome, this barrier, would already be activated. Who told you that?
I received a letter from one of the elders, Geneva Vansk.
Geneva.
She informed me that there was a malfunction in my design, and only I could fix it.
You designed this dome?
I played a part in it, yes.
Wow.
Did this have a seal or Geneva's signature that to verify its authenticity?
Well, she sent me a simple sending spell message. It sounded urgent.
I see.
And where are you from?
I was spending most of my days in Port Randus.
So you received this message some time ago.
Why, I received it this morning. Again, it was incredibly urgent.
So she said that something was wrong with the barrier?
Yes, she said that it was somehow activated and everyone in the city was trapped.
Interesting. This was along the same time that we spoke with her.
That's right.
Wow, well, Mr. Dreg, I can assure you, we were in the city this morning. It was not activated.
I do not understand. Oh, my words. And he kind of suddenly almost like comes to some type of realization. Alamar was at the docks. I didn't see him. I don't know what happened. Before everything happened, before the attack happened, I bumped into him, and he seemed as confused as I was as to why I was here. He also didn't know what I was talking about. He just told me to go see Geneva in the city, and then all hell broke loose.
Huh.
Did you see where he went?
He seemed to be in quite a rush, and kind of gave me dismissively as he left further down, moving down the docks. I don't know.
Did you see one of those domed ships at the dock when you arrived?
I can't say that I took any notice of one, no.
Huh. Very, very interesting.
I'd only just stepped off the gutted salmon before everything happened.
Oh, the gutted salmon.
I feel like we are missing something very important.
Well, I think he has told us a lot of important things. Just kind of looks at everybody like, be quiet and let's not talk about what we know.
Did it seem like Alamar was headed off island, or what do you think he was doing?
He was very curt with me. I don't know where he was headed.
Sounds to me like you need to take us into the city and we can go discuss what's going on with Geneva.
Yeah, it sounds like we need to talk to Geneva as soon as possible.
And so as this conversation, again, you've been you're descending this staircase, and this whole conversation, this whole time you're talking, you're descending. But he continues, I do hope Geneva knows what's going on. I don't understand. It was not active earlier today, the safety shell.
It wasn't. In her message, did she say where to meet her?
Well, she just said that the city, again, it was in lockdown, and she does know that I designed a fail-safe backdoor into it, and am the only one that could activate it.
True.
So no one else can find this entrance?
No, only a select few know of its existence. Myself and the other inventor that aided me in the creation of the safety shell.
And who was that?
Do you know Alstoff Tinnerman? Very handy.
Yes.
I assume he's still in the city. I do hope he's okay. But, again, Geneva's message said that he, too, was at a loss as to why it was activated.
Yeah, it seems like we need to talk to Geneva and then maybe pop over and see Alstoff to see if he knows anything either. Lead the way!
And he does, down this kind of uneven in some places and proper in others. And kind of almost like nervously, Dreg kind of starts talking about like the constructions of the staircases, it's a very, very long staircase. Like you were hundreds of feet above, like when you're on the surface, and this is very clearly leading you very deep down into the island itself, it seems. And he just kind of describes like the magic that's used to shape and stone is very taxing on a spellcaster, and he describes how alternatively using acid to carve out some of the stone was used. He's like kind of blathering a little bit. He seems very, very confused.
Falzarin is kind of enjoying listening to him blather on about it, actually, despite the fact that we're in peril and all of the craziness and chaos that's going on around us. He's enjoying hearing about the magic that went into creating this secret staircase.
I picture all four of us, at least Mia, like dying to talk to the others and discuss all the things we learned, but like unable to say anything in front of these people. And just like connecting the dots, and the yarn is just strung, and there's like a map, right? There's like the picture of connected dots going on as we walk.
And you finally hit the end of this staircase after like a solid 20 or 30 minutes of descending. And you see that it opens up into a small little area opening, and with a 5-foot kind of tunnel, again etched and dug and formed into the island itself. And Dreg leads you down this passage until you hit a bit of a fork very shortly after getting off of the staircase, and you see the floor in your tunnel is like riddled with rock, as if the wall has kind of been blown out into it. And he stops. It looks very confused. This is not supposed to be here. I did not design this tunnel.
Which pathway isn't supposed to be here?
This one branching to our right here. I've never seen this before.
Does it look like it's been carved or made with the same magic that was used to make the original tunnel?
In the first 5 or 10 feet here, it's all like acid etched. There doesn't seem to be any signs of actual magical shaping like some of the sections of the stair.
Is it dark?
It is dark down here, yes.
I want to put my goggles on, and then I want to take a look at the floor and see if there's any tracks or trace of something that has been down here, at least recently enough to have made this.
Okay. Why don't you give me a perception to find something?
Okay, that's a 22.
The ground is stone, so you don't see any sign of some type of passage. There are no footprints or anything. There's no water footprints. All of you are drenched, and it is storming outside. If someone had come down the same way that the group of you has, then there would be clearly wet footprints, and there are none in this tunnel or the one that you're in.
Dreg, when was the last time you were down in these tunnels?
I left Heracleon years ago, nearly 2 decades.
So it's been over 20 years since you've been down here.
It has, yes.
Wow.
You can tell that there seems to be a layer of fine sediment in the interior of this branching tunnel that isn't supposed to be here, that looks like fresh, like it's like freshly fallen. It's not like compacted at all, whereas where you are in your tunnel, it actually looks very clean in this tunnel that Dreg was intending to lead you down.
So it's a recently made tunnel.
Well, you see dirt on the floor. I guess I guess that's all I said to you.
We see dirt. Okay.
This is all interesting and stuff, Dreg, but I think we need to get to Geneva, so we need to sort of stick to the path that I don't know if we really want to, go off on some other tangent.
Yeah, will we be able to find this passageway again once we're back in the city if we need to come back and investigate this forking path once things settle down?
If we can drop the dome, you should, now that you know its existence, you'll be able to pass through the rock at will, but you won't be able to get through the dome itself without me.
Okay. I agree, Shaft. Let's keep going.
And that's our show. Be sure to follow us on social media, Incorrigible Par on Twitter, Incorrigible Party on Facebook and Instagram. You can visit incorrigibleparty.com for additional world and NPC information and to get all your Incorrigible Party merchandise. Merchandising. That's where the real money is made. Get a flamethrower. The kids love that one. The Incorrigible Party is sponsored by Critical Hit Design. For your design needs, visit criticalhitdesign.com. That's me. All ambient sounds and music during the episode are courtesy of tabletopaudio.com, and our intro and outro music was created by Josh Jarvis. You can contact him for your own musical inquiries via email at jamesmercymusic@gmail.com. Happy adventuring!